Hello out there in TV land. Since you had that baby, there's something different about you.
Over the course of Black sitcom history, there have been quite a few times where they got us all invested in a character, only to turn around and give them a whole new face and a whole new personality. Maybe they thought we wouldn't notice, wouldn't mind, or they really didn't care because at the end of the day, what could we really do about it? I won't lie, sometimes it worked, but then there was other times where it was like,
What was the reason?
I just explained the reason.
What was the reason, bitch?
I don't need to explain myself to you. And
What was the reason?
let's get into it. First, we'll be entering the girlfriends universe. For number 6, we have a character by the name of Darnell Wilkes. He was first introduced to us in season 1 as Maya's husband, and he was originally played by Flex Alexander.
He's getting more like his daddy every day, which should make some little girl in 2nd grade very happy.
Which to this day I'm still kind of surprised about, because I feel like any and every time I see Flex, he is Flex, except that one time he played Michael Jackson, but we won't go there. I like to go through life like that never happened. Anywho, Flex played Darnell for the first full season of Girlfriends, but then by the time season 2 rolled around, Darnell was looking real different.
Where's the woman that I married?
Darnell, baby, that girl was 17 years old.
Who?
The writers just decided to slag Khalil's Kane fine ass in there like Flex was a figment of our imagination, like he was never there in the first place, like we were crazy.
Are you work funky or cheating on me funky?
What?
Tell me the truth, Darnell.
But I won't lie, this is one of those times where a good old switcheroo worked. I feel like Flex to Khalil Kane is a perfect example of the stars aligning, because Flex left Girlfriends to do one-on-one, and that's definitely where he was meant to be. And Khalil Kane was just a better fit for Darnell.
I love you. I've never stopped loving you.
So I'm not mad at the writers at all for this one. I just wanted an excuse to bring it up because I wanted to say something about Khalil Kane and Flex, because they was fine. Yeah. Next, we'll be entering the universe of the Parkers. For number 5, we have a character by the name of Alan. Alan was first introduced to us in season 3 as one of Kim's love interests, and he was originally played by Jamal Mixon, one of those big dudes that used to be everywhere.
So that I can help educate the children and give back to the community.
You got something in your teeth.
Kim met Alan after agreeing to go on a double date with Stevie without knowing what the dude looked like, and at first she judged Alan based on his physical appearance because he was a little on the heavier side.
I mean, you know, he's cute in a sort of Biggie Smalls kind of way.
But by the end of the night, she ended up liking on him or whatever, but the thing was, Alan didn't like her back. He said that Kim wasn't his type.
Then why did you agree to go out with me?
I mean, well, you look so pitiful at speed dating. You know, I kind of felt sorry for you.
But that only made Kim want him more. So by the next time we saw Alan, she was feeling him and she was overly determined to get him to feel her too. One thing led to another. Alan and Kim started dating for the first few episodes of season 4.
I like you, and I wouldn't do anything to hurt you.
You really mean that?
Promise.
Then suddenly, Alan just disappeared. Now, although Kim and Alan were definitely an underrated couple in Black sitcom history, I won't lie, Alan's character was basically just there to be the butt of a lot of fat jokes.
You are so sweet to bring us snacks.
I'll be right back. And don't touch those.
So I wasn't that surprised when the writers revealed that his sudden disappearance was due to him going to something called the fat farm, but I never would have imagined in a million years that when they brought that man back, he would be a totally different dude.
You know I can't be going on no blind dates. I love Alan.
Good, because I love you too, Kim.
Alan?
Who?
The writers definitely played when it came to this one. It was real childish. It was real comical. I just know they was cackling loud as hell in that writing room when this one came about. But they got away with it because what we was gonna do. Next, we'll be entering the Family Matters universe. For number 4, we have the iconic Harriet Winslow, one of my favorite TV moms. I love Harriet down. But we all know that Jo Marie Payton played Harriet Winslow for 9 seasons and 204 episodes of Family Matters.
There's a solution to every problem. That's the easy part.
Well, what's the hard part?
Figuring out what the solution is.
So you would think it would be impossible to replace her. You would think there would be no way in hell that they would even try. But it turns out that by season 9, our girl Jo Marie was just completely over it. She wasn't happy in life and with the show anymore, and she decided to leave. Don't take my word for it because I did do a little research, but I be lying sometimes. I get that the writers had to do something because she was out the door. Now, I might not know what the hell I'm talking about because this was all before my time, but since Harriet was such a pivotal character to the show and it was literally the last season, I feel like it would have just been better to write her off the show, make her disappear. Judy went upstairs and never came back. They could have sent Harriet on a trip or something. But to replace her for the last 9 episodes just feels kind of disrespectful to me. Like, her character was just so dispensable that they could just throw somebody else in there for the last 9 episodes and no one would care.
And you know the reason I'm always over here is because I miss my mommy.
Yeah.
Who?
I don't know, maybe they hired Judy Ann Elder because they thought they were getting another season or something, because again, she was only there for 9 episodes. Wouldn't it have been better just to write Harriet off the show? Hell, they sent Steve to space. They could have sent Harriet somewhere. Next, we'll be entering the My Wife and Kids universe. For number 3, we have a character by the name of Vanessa Scott. She was first introduced to us in season 3 as Junior's girlfriend, and she was originally played by Megan Fine-As Good.
You're not stupid. You just look at the world in a unique way.
Everybody knows that's code for stupid.
Now, how Junior pulled Vanessa, I don't know. Every time I rewatch the show and I get to that part, I just think to myself,
How, Sway?
But anywho, Vanessa showed up and had our boy Junior doing some very crazy and risky things behind her.
Daddy, mommy, it's not what it looks like.
But again, she was played by Megan Fine-As Good, so I have no questions. I completely understand. Megan played Vanessa for the remainder of season 3, and she was even originally there for the whole pregnancy storyline.
Can you at least give us an explanation why?
She's pregnant.
But by season 4, Vanessa was suddenly looking real different. Still just as beautiful, but real different.
Deserve an explanation. Why are you not going?
She's pregnant.
Who?
Our girl Megan had been replaced by Brooklyn Sudano, Donna Summer's daughter. Fun fact. I looked into it and there is not really anything out there on why that change occurred, but it was 2003 Megan Good. I'm pretty sure our girl was just booked and busy and couldn't commit to being Junior's baby mama. But again, I feel like this was another perfect example of the stars aligning how they were supposed to, because to me, Brooklyn was definitely a better fit as Vanessa.
Wonder if our baby will ever go to the moon.
The moon would be nice, but I'm just hoping our baby goes to college.
And honestly, if you're not actively rewatching My Wife and Kids over and over, I guarantee you won't even remember that Megan Good was originally there. I know I didn't, especially since they took the time to reshoot the whole Michael and Jay finding out about the pregnancy scene.
She's pregnant.
They were funny as hell for that, so that's why they made top 3. Next, we'll be entering the universe of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. For number 2, we have the iconic Vivian Banks, another one of my favorite TV moms. For 3 seasons and over 70 episodes, Aunt Viv was played by Janet Hubert. It seemed like that character was made for her, and it was obvious that no one else could fill those shoes and bring that character to life the way she did.
He's going to MacArthur Park tonight to sell Korean Gucci bags.
MacArthur Park?
So you would think it wouldn't even be remotely possible to replace her, but shit, those Fresh Prince writers said.
Did you get too close?
I don't know, Vivian. Is 4 feet too close?
Who?
This is definitely the most upsetting one on the list.
It's upsetting me and my homegirl.
Not only did they give Unviv a whole new face, they gave our girl a whole new personality. She just wasn't the same no more. Almost like Uncle Phil got remarried to a woman who had the same name as his previous wife, because that wasn't Unviv. That was Aunt Penelope or something. But no shade to Daphne Maxwell Reid. She could only work with what they gave her, and it seemed like after the recasting, they weren't giving her much.
Oh, Phil, please stop. Yes, Phil, please stop.
Again, this was before my time, but I do know a little of the history of why Janet was no longer on the show. Apparently, her and Will Smith didn't like each other in real life, and the show was called The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, not The Fresh Auntie of Bel-Air, so our girl had to go. I read somewhere that she was making some negotiations, and I guess they just said, hey, we can replace her.
Damn.
Them replacing Unviv is definitely the most upsetting, and you're probably wondering to yourself, if that's not number one, then what is? But I had to save the number one spot for the most ridiculous. So lastly, we'll be entering the sister universe. We have a character by the name of Rhonda who was originally played by my birthday twin, Bianca Lawson.
Hello, I needed a date for the party.
But you used me.
And your point is?
Rhonda was introduced to us in season 3, and she was basically just Tia and Tamara's nemesis. Her foot stayed on their necks. She didn't like them. They didn't like her. It was on sight every time either one of them was in a room together.
You may be going out with Sean now, but not for long. I'm throwing down my gauntlet before you. Gauntlet?
We got Rhonda for the remainder of season 3, then suddenly she just went MIA. Then season 4, episode 2 rolled around. The episode starts off with Tia and Tamara complaining about how all the boys in their grade are all in love with Rhonda. Okay.
Typical male student at Roosevelt High. Whose name did you write all over your notebook? Rhonda.
But it's been the summer. The girls are a little older, so now they feel like they can give Rhonda some stiff competition. Cool.
We're mature. We're sophisticated. And who's gonna get some serious competition? Rhonda.
Y'all, they go to school and see Rhonda. Why that girl suddenly a whole man now?
But between July and August, I just kind of, blew up.
I beg your pardon? I beg your pardon?
Do we know you?
It's me, Rhonda.
Who? The whole point of that episode was to make Tia and Tamara worried about their genetics because, you know, they're adopted and they don't know what their real parents look like.
I mean, look at our parents. They're gorgeous. Knock, knock. We're adopted.
So the writers thought it was a hilarious idea to push that plot line by turning Rhonda into a whole man, have Tia and Tamara see her and become very petrified about what they was gonna look like in the future. Yeah, that was definitely a choice. Say hey to the people. Say something. The sister one is definitely the one that sticks out the most for me because ever since I found out that me and Bianca Lawson share a birthday, she has been my girl. She's March 20th, 1979. I'm March 20th, 1999. She a whole 20 years older than me, but don't even look like it. I might look older than her. I don't know. Shout out to her. She don't know me, but that's my girl. We share the same birthday. Like, we locked in. Let me stop playing. But because of that, I'm always very excited to see her, and Sister is in my top 3 of black sitcoms, so I was happy as hell to see her on that show. Only for them to randomly turn her into a man for some reason. But I do have a question for anybody who has made it this far. Like I said, I was born in 1999. A lot of these switches that I talked about were before my time, or my time was barely beginning when they happened. But I am very fluent in black entertainment history, so that's why I know what I know when I need to know it. You know, I will never be caught out here not knowing what I need to know when it needs to be known, you know. Anywho, if this video reaches anybody who was there in real time for when they switched out Aunt Viv, I would love to know just how that moment was for you in real time. I'm so curious about that. Like, what was that feeling? No, because you know, TV worked a whole lot different back in the day. You know, I could just turn on Hulu, Max, or whatever to watch The Fresh Prince back to back if I want to. But I know, like, back in the day, y'all had to wait till the episode came on, and you had to have like a VCR or something to record it, or you just missed it, right? I went back then with y'all like that. I wish I was, but I just wasn't, you know. God saw fit for me to be here right now. I don't know, you know. I feel like I would have thrived in the 90s, but whatever. We getting sidetracked. I'm only saying that because I wanted to, you know, see what Tupac was about. Whoa. Where was I going with this? Oh yeah. I would love to know how the Unviv thing was for y'all in real time, because again, no social media or nothing. Janet and Will weren't beefing over the internet, so y'all probably didn't even know they didn't like each other. Damn. I would love to know, but I would love to know. I'm just very curious about that because, like I said, it is the most upsetting and damn. Yeah.